Hello guys and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel. In today's video we'll be covering the best teams to target from game week 31 onwards. We'll also be identifying 2 to 3 players from each club who you could bring into your team to help you improve your rank. If you do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, turn the notifications on and let me know in the comments if you are bringing in any of the players included in today's video. But without further ado, let's get into this. Now, the first team that you should be looking to target is Burnley. Now, Burnley, they're down in the relegation places. It's getting desperate for Burnley, but we just have to look at their fixtures. In the next 3 game weeks, they play 5 games. Obviously, in game week 31, they do play Manchester City in that double, so you can kind of discount that game. However, in that double game week, they play Everton, and massive relegation dogfight's going to go off there. The following week they play Norwich away as well, a huge game for Burnley in their battle to survive. They've also got the potential for another double in 36 and beyond, so like the options for Burnley kind of in terms of doubles are just absolutely fantastic. When a team has this many fixtures, you kind of have to take a punt on at least one of the players, and the players that I've identified for Burnley, number 1 being Wout Weghorst. Obviously no goals in his last 5 games. We're fully going fixtures over forms, but he's 6.5 million. He came into the Premier League and did exceptionally well, and I think he'll kick back on. I really hope so, because he's a player that I'm looking to bring in. But just the amount of games that him and Burnley are going to be playing, he is their main target man. He's the one that they're relying on to get the goals. He is, for me, an easy forward option. There's limited forward options in the game. 6.5 million. You can partner him with Harry Kane most weeks. He's doubling. He's playing teams at the bottom. It's a real no-brainer for me to kind of bring in Wout Weghorst. There aren't too many other forward options, so for me, that's why he's option number 1. Option number 2 that you could consider is Maxwell Cornet. Obviously, Cornet came in at the start of this season and he started like a house on fire. He was absolutely fantastic when he came in, massively overperforming on his XG and expected assists as well, but went off to AFCON and kind of hasn't recovered that form, hasn't become the same player. I know he's been struggling with injuries, but he is another player that you should be considering. Only 5.9 million and 0.8% ownership. He could be an absolutely massive differential. He's got the second highest expected goals over the past 5 game weeks amongst Burnley players, and I think he's only played about 240 minutes as well. He is a little bit prone to injury, as we've seen this season, but for me, he could be a nice differential at an absolutely bargain bottom price who you could get in your team. He's doubling twice in the next 3 game weeks. Just the amount of games, if Burnley are picking up clean sheets as well, there's an easy 6 points in game week 33 for you. Then if he gets an attacking return on top of that, he's playing out of position as well. He's going to be playing up front with Weghorst. So for me, Cornet, a nice another option. Just watch his injuries, but I think Sean Dyche has managed him well, and he should be starting to come back into the team and starting to flourish like he did at the start of the season. The final player for Burnley that I'm going to recommend is Nick Pope. Now, I believe the Burnley defence is definitely a team that we should be kind of looking to target. There's some nice defenders in there at cheap prices. Connor Roberts is one that people are throwing about, but I have gone for Nick Pope. Burnley, the way they play, they do, they're very defence-minded. Sean Dyche kind of likes to nick games 1-2-0, keep it tight at the back, and Nick Pope's been a solid Premier League player for a few years now. Obviously, we've got to consider the fact that at the moment, at the time of recording, Ramsdale is out injured. Sarr blanks for Wolves in game week 33. So for me, it makes sense to go for a player who's got this many doubles, this many games. All he needs is 1 clean sheet, and you can definitely see that they could get that against Everton, who've been very porous the whole season, and against Norwich as well. You expect Burnley to get a clean sheet in that match. So for me, Nick Pope, there's not a lot of goalkeepers out there at the moment who double and are fit. So for Nick Pope, he's a nice goalkeeper who offers a little bit of something different and could kind of break the mould. The next team that you should be looking to target is Manchester United. Now, Manchester United did have a rocky patch over the past few game weeks. I think it was just down to the turn in fixtures. We all knew that. We all obviously sold our United assets after their doubles and we moved them on, but now it should be a time that we start to get them back in. They double in game week 33 where they play Norwich and Liverpool. Obviously you can kind of discount the Liverpool game, but it is a derby, so you never know what could happen there. Both teams playing for a lot as the season comes to its conclusion, so you never know what could happen there. The Norwich game, definite one to target. Leicester, been very shocking all season. Everton, who I've spoke about, have been dire as well, so these are really nice next 3 game weeks for United. They're also in this top 4 race as well, so that's something that we definitely should be looking at. You know, they want to get Champions League. They want to even get European football. You know, there's obviously a lot of teams competing for just the Europa League spots at this rate as well. So United are going to be putting out the strongest team. They're in no cup competition, so you ain't got to worry about that. They're going to be going for it. And these are the 3 players that I believe you should be targeting. Number 1, we're going to go for Jadon Sancho. Over the past 5 game weeks, he has been United's highest scoring player with 3 assists and 1 goal. And I feel that he is beginning to find his confidence at United. Ralf Rangnick is starting to get the best out of him. Obviously came with a high price tag. And it kind of didn't work under Ollie. And, you know, there was people in the media calling him a flop, and they still are. But Rangnick is starting to get the best out of him. And he's starting to look more settled, and his performances have massively improved since the German has come into the club. So for me, he's player number 1. Player number 2 that you could go for is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, for me, if I was going to bring in Ronaldo, I'd probably do it in game week 33. I'd keep Harry Kane for game week 31 and 32, but then in 33, Spurs don't double, United do. Go get Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously picked up a hat-trick as well against Spurs, and in the last 3 games he's had 14 shots. We know what Ronaldo's about. He's a big game player. He's still scored a lot of goals this season after coming under a lot of criticism, but I think he'll want to finish the season strong, show everyone what he's about, and really help United kick on, get top 4 this season. And I definitely think he's the easy swap for Harry Kane owners at game week 33 point. The final player that I'm going to recommend is a player that I had in earlier this season for the doubles and absolutely loved owning him. It's Bruno Fernandes. He's heart of the creativity for United. Easy swap for Son owners if you've got him in game week 33 with obviously no Spurs double. 1 goal, 1 assist in his past 5 game weeks. However, he is the highest expected points over the past 5 game weeks among United players. So Bruno, he's going to sign a new contract at United as well, so that will give him a massive boost. He is obviously going to be a part of their long-term project at United. He's a scintillating player. I absolutely love to watch Bruno Fernandes on the pitch. Still question marks about who's taking penalties for United. Could be Ronaldo, could be Bruno. So I can't quite remember off the top of my head who took the last one, but if you do know, just leave it in the comments below. But yeah, you've also got potentially the penalty points that he could accumulate, and he is United's main creative asset. So for me, the final player that you should be looking to target is Bruno Fernandes. The next team that we're going to look at is Leicester City. Now, Leicester, they haven't been the greatest all season. However, it's time to jump on the Leicester bandwagon. Manchester United in game week 31 is a difficult fixture, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy the assets, because after that, in game week 32, they have a scintillating run all the way to the end of the season. They double in 33 and still have 2 fixtures left to be arranged. Those are Norwich and Chelsea. The only thing that you have to look out with Leicester players is the fact that they are in the Europa Conference League. I think that's where Leicester's priorities are going to lie, because if they win that, they'll get to the Europa League. Brendan Rodgers is under a little bit of pressure as well after falling out with the director of football at Leicester, so he'll want to win something to kind of cement his place in the team next season. But the first player that I have recommended is James Maddison. Obviously scored a fantastic free kick in game week 30. He's got that dead ball ability. He is a very streaky player, and he is a player where he kind of goes hot, he kind of goes cold. He's definitely prone to rotation, but he's at a nice price where you can kind of swap him in and out for players like Rafinha, Saka if you wanted to do that. I don't know why, but you know, these are the players that you could definitely swap him around for. And we saw earlier in the season when James Maddison did hit that little bit of form, he was in absolutely fantastic form, scoring goals, getting assists. He is one of Leicester's key men, and they'll be looking for, you know, his creativity to kind of help them finish the season strong. With the nice fixtures as well, I think he'd be a really good asset to hold in the midfield. The other option that you could go for is the differential option, and that is Harvey Barnes. He's currently at about 4% ownership. In his past 4 games, he's got 1 goal and 2 assists. Over the past 5 game weeks as well, he's had 31 touches in the opposition box. He's getting involved on that left-hand side. He's getting into the box, and I love Harvey Barnes. He is one of my favourite players. He is a very hot and cold player, but when he's on form, he is absolutely fantastic. He's very direct, and I love the power that he gets in his shots. So for me, if you are looking for a little bit of a differential, then I'd definitely go Barnes over Maddison. But with Maddison, you do get the free kicks. You could even take a punt on both, but I'd preferably pick one of the 2 options. I'm tending to lean a little bit towards Barnes, as I believe he potentially could have the higher upside, and he seems to be in Brendan Rodgers' strongest teams at the moment. So that's where I'm leaning, but let me know in the comments who you're leaning towards. The final team that we are going to recommend is Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have been great all season, fully deserving of their top 4 place at the moment. They have strong fixtures till the end of the season. They have lots and lots of cheap options. I could have put about 6 names down there at the bottom, but I've gone for these 3. But yeah, they double in 33, and they are not in any other cup competitions. They're in this top 4 race. They're going to be playing their strongest team week in, week out. As we can see as well, something that I did like was the fact that they're 4th for expected conceded goals over the past 5 game weeks, suggesting a strong defence. That's why there are 2 defensive players in my list. Starting off, we will go for Saka. Big one with Saka, has currently pulled out of England with COVID, so just make sure he is fit, he is healthy. But when he is fit, when he is healthy, he is brilliant. He had a great performance against Villa. He's pretty much Arsenal's star man at the moment. He's the 2nd highest scoring player, under 7 million. And we did speak about Harvey Barnes having 33 touches in the box. Well, guess what? Saka, 52 touches in the box. He's getting involved. He's a great player. He's at an amazing price as well, so that's something definitely consider. But if money is an option, you could easily go for Martinelli, Odegaard. There are plenty of options, like I said, with this Arsenal team. The next option that I'm going to recommend is Ben White. Now, Ben White, I had him in at the start of the season, and I wish I'd never took him out, to be honest. He's an absolute bargain at 4.5 million. He's in a strong Arsenal defence, obviously 4th for expected conceded goals over the past 5 game weeks, and he is 1st for defenders under 5 million for points scored this season. I honestly wish I'd have kept him in all year. I don't know why I believe the grass was greener. I think I swapped him for Semedo quite early on when Wolves had a nice kind of fixture run, looking for the upside. I wish I hadn't, because he's been a stalwart at the back for Arsenal this year, and you can just see from the points that he's scored. He is a little bit of a bonus point magnet as well, is Ben White. He's an absolute steal at 4.5 million. So if you're looking for a player who's pretty nailed, going to double in game week 33, and has nice fixtures to the end of the season, I don't know why you're looking elsewhere. Go Ben White, it just makes sense. And the final player on the list is Ramsdale. Obviously, big one to consider is the injury, but other than that, he's been great all season, hasn't he? He's in kind of that 5 million price range where a lot of the best performing goalkeepers are. Doubles in 33, that's a bonus that he has over Sarr. But like I said, the big one with Ramsdale, we all know what he's good at. We all know he's great at making saves. We all know he's great at collecting bonus points. But just make sure that he is fully fit for the upcoming fixtures. If you did enjoy today's video, please don't forget to like the video. Tell me in the comments who you're looking to bring in for the next few fixtures. And honestly, please do subscribe. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched my wildcard video. It's absolutely blown up, and I honestly appreciate the support more than you'll ever know. It's just a massive thank you. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and enjoy the rest of your day.